Hello and welcome back to another day of Final Fantasy. Last we left off, we found Gosetsu and Yotsuyu. I believe her name was, yeah, pretty sure Yotsuyu. And, of course now she's going by Tsuyu, because apparently she's lost her memories. And then her supposed brother came along from the Empire to try and get her to come home, and then he realized that, yeah, she's got no memories, and he gives her a mirror and hopes that she'll remember things. And, yeah, and then he just goes ahead and outs himself as, a terrible person that I figured he was. And, like, he was acting all nice and kind, and then, just before he's leaving, he goes to my character and is all like, "I hate you, you're the scum of the earth, how dare you, I'll murder you all." And then he just smiles and walks off, and it's like, what? Bro, why? What was the reason for you just outing yourself like that? Like, you could have played a long con, but no, you just decided to show your hand to me, the hero of light, who everyone trusts and respects, and will definitely trust when I tell them, hey, that guy, he's actually not a good person. He's been acting all friendly, but, yeah, nah, he's a follower of Xenos. So that happened. We also got a little, echo glimpse of his past. Saw that he, like, idolizes Xenos. Despite the fact that he, is Doman by birth. Crazy stuff. Now, let's get this set up. Transition. Hello. Here we are. And Alphino has important news to share. So let's hear it. Ah, Genosia, impeccable timing. We have just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes that the Domans are coordinating their efforts with the Blue Kojin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for signs of crystal hoarding and the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the Ambassador. For the Garleans' part, the Populares have sent word that a vessel bearing Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yanxia. 'Twould seem that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Lord Hien requests your presence, and I share his views that you should be on hand at this crucial juncture. According to the letter, Yotsuyu's memory has yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma, assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time.
If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Asahi weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let us make straight ways for the Enclave, then. Lord Hien will be awaiting. I trust you will cope in our absence, Tataru?
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely.
Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. All right. Time to speak with Hien. Wow, it's a long ways away from any Aetherites. Yo! We fly. Dun 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 da 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 da. Oh, condition only 42%. That's not great. I need to repair some things soon. Down to these docks, I assume, at the glittering basin. Talk to this guy, I guess. Get to the Doman Enclave. Why didn't the map just tell me to go to the Enclave? Like what? So to go here instead of where is the Enclave then? Weird. I could have just teleported straight there, but I clicked on this, it didn't take me to here. Let's use this to get closer. Encanto. Kiankan Guardsman. Hello. Yes, you may show me in. Of course. That's why I'm here. Ah, I see my letter reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. It concerns Kosetsu. As you may have observed, he returned from his ordeal rather the worse for wear, and despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them, he recently collapsed. Oh no! Good gods! Is he alright? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it high time he received some visitors. Might you spare a moment? Yotsuyu has scarce left his side, and I imagine you are curious to see what has become of her as well.
We will visit him at once. Genosia, Alice, shall we?
Nodders.
Open wide now.
Come on.
Pleased to you. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself. I grow weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai? I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon.
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
Gasetsu. So
I hope
restless.
we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... A gross exaggeration. A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Will you, Gasetsu? A building fell on top of you.
Take off your clothes.
It would be understandable if you couldn't fight anymore.
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
My lady, I assure you this is not.
Off with them. We need to wash you. You stink. What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man.
One of them is a wound from when you
Is
shot him.
something wrong to you?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
Is it nothing?
But leave me be, woman. I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
Oh, I guess that's it. So much pride in that one. They make a convincing pair, do they not? On first acquaintance, I would think him a doting grandsire, and her a model grandchild.
Indeed. Had someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene, I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Kosetsu has lost none of his spirit. But what a turn of events! I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him. You couldn't make it up. Although, I suppose Kosetsu is an old man. With the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget.
Aye. He has resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains, he will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given his all for liege and land, and we will ask no more.
And what of his nurse? If Yotsuyu is feigning that, well, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. Yugiri, out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince. So, what makes you so sure? I have been spying on Yotsuyu from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped, not once. She has remained in character from the first. One evening, I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami, a child's game. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. Well, that's good enough for me. And everyone else, I would hazard.
Aye, the matter is settled. Yotsuyu become Suyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we will need to present her to the ambassador one last time to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Her presence at the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts.
Understandably. She is good as frightened the chains around their necks. Fastened the chains around their necks.
Aye. Which is why I mean to conclude this business with Suyu first, out of the sight of my countrymen. Will you help me?
We are at your service. There is no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace.
My thanks. The Ghanaians are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Suyu. Others. Let's speak with Alfie now. Look at that sword. It's pretty cool. Down to the docks.
Oh. Shall we wait here then? Lord Hien should not be long.
My friends, have you seen Suyu? She is nowhere to be found.
Da-dun. What? But the Ghanaians will be landing in a matter of moments. If she's fled, could it mean her memories have returned?
I know not. Yugiri is scouting the streets as we speak. But it is possible Suyu has left the Enclave altogether. Captain, a word. Did you perchance carry a fair-skinned woman across the river? A fair-skinned woman, my lord? I do not rightly know. I think... Yes, my lord. Now that you mention it, there was a lady among the passengers, whom I do not recall having seen before. Her face was hidden by the brim of her hat, but I remember taking her hand to help her into the boat. White as new fallen snow it was. Was she someone important, my lord? Have I done something wrong? Wrong? No. I was merely hoping to catch our guest before she departed. Be at ease, Captain. Boy. It would seem that Suyu has crossed the river. Kami, help me. No good can come of this. Scouting, aiming, healing, casting. Let us view the manifests. Let's see. Laser dexterity for rogues and ninjas. for archers, bards, machinists, dancers. That's for healing classes. And for the DPS mages. And now I guess I'll grab armor of aiming. Ba-la-la. It seems Suyu has gone unrecognized thus far, but Kami help us if someone catches a clear view of her face. I must find her before that happens. The responsibility for her disappearance, for all of this, lies with me, but I would ask for your aid nonetheless.
We are at your service, Lord Hien. Now as before. Let us make the crossing and begin our search. You go on ahead. Someone should let Yugiri know what we've learned. Someone should let Yugiri know what we've learned. I'll join you on the other side. We have no way of knowing where Suyu is headed, so we had best divide our forces. I'll take Kusakari and its surrounds. Alphino, if you would take the road to Castrum Fulminus? Junosia, forgive me, but could I ask you to interrogate the residents of Yuzuka Manor? One of the Namazu may well have seen our quarry. If everyone is in agreement, let us board the skiff and hope the Kami smile upon our efforts. Ta-da. Right. Ah, right there. Not too far to go. Hello, Gilson.
Welcome to Yuzuka Manor. Yes, if there is anything you care to know, you need only, a pale-skinned woman? I've seen no such traveler. I am sorry to say, most sorry. Scaly-skinned Namazu, on the other hand, we have in abundance.
What about you?
Unusually pale skin. Yes, I saw this woman on the way back from my fishing trip.
You good, bro? Sir?
She had just crossed the shallows east of here, and was headed in a northeasterly direction, for the most part. Her steps did not seem certain. If you hurry, you may still catch her.
Sir? Sir? I don't see his pupils. This is very concerning. Why are you just standing there? Let's go find Tsuyu, I guess. Closer than expected.
You see no sign of Yotsuyu to the north. Perhaps she is somewhere farther off to the northeast.
gone like the morning dew. Still no sign of Yotsuya. Perhaps she is yet farther to the northeast. Even farther. Perhaps. She sure has gone far in such a short time. Yotsuyu is nowhere to be seen, but lying on the ground a short distance to the north, you spy a familiar-looking wide-brimmed hat. Oh? Bamboo hat. A cursory glance is all that is required to confirm your suspicions. It is the same hat Yotsuyu was wearing when you found her in Sakazuki. Concerning. If she's lost her hat, people will likely recognize her. Junosia, before you ask, our search of Kusakari and its surroundings has yielded exactly naught, save this chance reunion with you, I suppose.
Mistress Alice is gone to assist her brother at the castro. It was she who informed me of the situation. I joined Lord Hien here shortly thereafter.
How did you fare at Yuzuka Manor? Any sign of our missing guest? Yes. And as you can see on the floor right here, her hat. Towards the Mai? By the Kami, if the villagers recognize her, it will not end well. We must hurry. Yugiri and I will check the paddies. The village square is yours. Huh? Uh-oh.
Greetings. Might I have one of your... Wait! Please! I only wanted a persimmon.
Yotsuyu.
Kami, save us! Her spirit has returned!
She's back from the dead to seek her revenge!
Hey guys, I found her. Nod. Runs towards
It
them.
can't be. She couldn't have survived.
Uh-oh.
What did I do?
As if you don't know!
She doesn't, though.
Good people of Namai, be at ease, I pray you. You have naught to fear.
My lord, forgive me, but what is that monster doing here? They told us she was dead.
I too was surprised to learn of her survival. More even than you, I would hazard. 'Twas I who cut her down, I who left her to her fate. But it would seem the Kami had other plans. By some miracle, both she and Gosetsu were spared when the keep collapsed. though Yotsugu's preservation came at the cost of her memory.
You're saying she's forgotten? Forgotten everything she's done?
Lies! Lies, my lord! She would say anything to escape punishment!
What does it matter? We have not forgotten her crimes, and we demand justice! I beg of you, Lord Hien, draw your blade and rid us of this canker!
What I saw then, it's all true. I'm sorry! I'm so sorry.
You're sorry? And what? We're supposed to forgive you?
Here, there's no need to cry. Can't you see how scared she is? How can you be scared of her? She's not the same.
See that, everyone? This small child is okay with letting her live.
Until such time as her memories return, this woman shall be known as Tsuyu and treated as a citizen of Doma. I will, however, see that she is watched at all times. Rest assured that there will be no more unannounced visits to the village. As your lord, I ask that you leave her fate in my hands and suffer her to live, for now.
Please, Issei.
All right. I'll keep my peace. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
Well. I'll take the money. I don't need the food. Ba, ba. Now that crisis had been averted, Hien's face is a picture of relief. That would have been better avoided, but at least it did not end in bloodshed. And judging by Tsuyu's reaction, she remains oblivious to the events of a former life. This was no escape attempt.
Nay, it seems it was an offhand request of Kosetsu's which brought her to Namai. She came in search of a persimmon.
Ha! And they say fruit is good for the health. I do hope Kosetsu finds the taste to his liking. Well, we have certainly taken the long way round. But let us continue on to Castrum Fulminus, and our meeting with the ambassador. Alphino and Alice should still be there, conducting their search. I feel like she's gonna remember a lot more pretty soon. Okay. Huh. Out here, I guess. So, are we gonna do something about those Talquans before the Carleans show up?
It seems our Imperial guests have already arrived. It is time to meet with the ambassador.
I guess we won't. Where'd all those beasts go? They were just here 2 seconds ago.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
Supposed
A
sister.
pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
It's true.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Huh? Are these her parents?
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look well.
Must be.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
You know those memories are not sweet.
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient.
Glare.
You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien.
No, he does.
I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned then.
Yeah.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
I know better than to trust Asahi, but that was a dirty trick. Still, unpleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Suyu's future to rest. I've sent her back to the Enclave with Yugiri to give Gosetsu his precious persimmon. Come, let us follow them. You have that look, Alphino. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence. Most like. We can discuss it upon our return.
And we have returned. Okay.
We should pay a visit to Gosetsu and reassure him Suyu's fate. He will want to know that the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her.
True.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
Yeah.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Doma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, but we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone!
Again? How?
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
Yeah. Can't leave her alone for 2 seconds.
Help! Help!
Huh? Nani? Aren't you?
Help! Help me!
Yep. How did you get here?
If only I hadn't remembered.
What are you doing?
He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Literally, how did you get here?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
What are you doing here?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu. A font of misery. You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
No, you deserve far worse.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks, at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugane and start a new business.
My goodness. How are you going to sell her?
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. How it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu!
What? Don't act surprised. Like, come on. No! You treat her so terribly, and then once again treat her even more terribly, and then you don't expect her to stab you with the knife she's holding? Like, how delusional can you be? How did you get here? Without anyone noticing? How did you get them here?
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me?
Yes.
To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
I still don't understand why Yotsuyu is angry at all of Doma. It makes no sense. Angry at her parents? Sure, I can totally get that. Angry at maybe a couple of other people that treated her terribly? Sure.
To die?
But all of Doma? Why?
Any sign of her?
What did Farmer down the street do to her? Like, seriously.
What happened here?
I think it's pretty obvious, but I'll tell you anyway. From the echo that I have.
I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother?
Yeah.
Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives.
I mean, they were terrible people.
But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
We have recovered the Norris's remains, and will hold the cremation anon. Would that they have never again set foot in Doma. I broke the news to Gosetsu myself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some time alone with his thoughts. Conscripts and contingencies. Lots of potions. So, my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Yotsuyu has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is by any measure a cruel twist, not least for Kasutsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of the contract, we were bound to surrender Yotsuyu into the Guardian's hands should her condition improve prior to the hour of the exchange. By that reckoning,
All is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. But what I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asahi went to achieve his outcome. Given his recent conduct and his apparent admiration for Xenos, it is plain he cannot be trusted, and that is to say nothing of the unexplained containers he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. A wise precaution. If the main structure of Castrum Fulminus is to be the stage for the exchange, then I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal. While we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force, it is entirely possible that the ambassador has arranged things there to his advantage. I will slip inside and make certain we have an unobstructed exit. Pray, allow me to join you. I have some experience of Imperial facilities, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be of at least some use. Very good. That should be enough to guarantee us a way out of the castrum. Beyond that, however, we will need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. A Confederate Scipion, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leave us far less vulnerable on the water, assuming, of course, Rochot can be convinced to part with one. Might I take the lead on this? I've had dealings with Rochot and his pirates before. And I won't be alone, will I, Genosia?
You can count on me.
Much appreciated. I quite fancy parleying with pirates again. It's just a shame Lise won't be there to reprise her role.
I am certain you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I will accompany you to these negotiations all the same.
My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common brigands.
Come now, Yugiru. They stood with us against the Empire. If we would ask their aid once more, we must treat with them as equals.
My presence shall serve as to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord. Pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alphino and I shall be about our task.
And we should be on our way to Onokoro. Time is short, and Rasho may take some convincing.
Request accepted.
Speak with Rasho on Onokoro. In the Ruby Sea. I'll just fly on up there. Hello, Rasho. Now there is a face I did not expect to see. What brings the noble lord of Doma into the company of bilge rats such as we?
If you've come to offer Doma chains in place of Ghanaian ones, then I'm afraid you've wasted a trip.
Ha 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 ha! And what fine subjects you would make. With your fleet at our disposal, our restoration efforts would be hastened tenfold.
But let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid once more.
The Garleans, blah, 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 blah. Yotsu, blah, blah. Mayhap you are confused. Doma's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save ourselves. Now we have no such incentive. We have sworn no oath to you, and will not come running like hounds at their master's whistle.
And I would not presume to treat you thus. I come to petition your cooperation as an ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. Where's the profit for us in all of this? Profit? You must always think in such short-sighted terms. Have you ever heard of doing the right thing?
Have you ever heard of pirates, little miss?
You'll find we're simple souls. You pay our tithe, you sail in peace. Deny us our due, and we take it by force. We'll pull you out of the water if we see you drowning, but we are not in the business of doing something for nothing. Calm yourself, Mistress Alize. We did not come here to moralize, we came here to talk, and there is more to be said. According to records recovered after the liberation, relatives of your Doman-born brethren were among those conscripted into the Imperial Army. And as you may be aware, we recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to find no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask that you offer them a place in the Confederacy. You would not be recruiting strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. And has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits?
You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Hien.
The losses we suffered at the Garleans' hands are no secret. But since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels to tax, so few pirates to tax them. We could do with some more hands on deck, undoubtedly, so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire.
Very well. The Confederacy agrees to your request. We will have your ship. Or you will have your ship. But before that, you must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during your battle with the Empire. Though we have mended her, she has yet to be declared seaworthy. She's sound enough down below, but when you load her up with conscripts and the waterline rises, those upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want your people to stay dry, you'll do me the favor of swimming around the hull to check for weaknesses. That is, if Doman lords are not averse to getting their robes wet.
Not this Doman lord. If we each can inspect a third of the ship, it shall be done in a trice.
That is the spirit. The ship is moored at Quickscape Pier. Our apprentice shipwright will be on deck to hear your report. Look for a lad named Ihanashi.
And I thought I had a knack for parleying with pirates. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success. And yes, I should have quit while I was ahead.
Well, well. I thought the rumors were exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. Indeed. Down to the ship we go. So... I assume this is the ship, right? Oh. On the other side, apparently. Ridiculous. Fine. On the flight then. Upon closer inspection, you spot a small crack in one of the planks. Good thing we spotted it then. What did I say? Ian? Suspect hull plank. You see no signs of damage here. Good. There you are, Ihanashi. Ihanashi. I am the shipwright, apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seemed solid enough. There was a crack that I found on the port bow. On the port side, near the bow, you say? All right. I'll have a look and see what I can do. My apologies. I seem to have lagged behind. I could float in the gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I am happy to report no visible cracking or holes in my section of the hull. Your Lord Hien! The captain sent you to inspect the hull? Kami, have mercy. Forgive us this discourtesy, my lord. Huh. 'Tis quite all right. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you are of Doma? Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising, and I had nowhere else to turn. The Confederacy became my family. But someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father will be among them. Not that I can go back. There's no leaving once you've joined. How fares our lady? Is she seaworthy? Why was that question marks? We know the captain. What? Captain! We found it. Whoops. We found a small crack in the port side, but I'll have it fixed before you know it. I see you have met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babies when he is nervous, or he babbles when he is nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave this life, if he so chooses. I expect you to see they are provided for. I have heard that those who join the Confederacy forswear all ties with kin and homeland. Is that oath so easily put aside? If I allow it. I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them, but the yearning for home still lingers. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot. But he has scarce dipped his toes with us. If there's a life for him in Doma, he should have the chance to live it. Well said. The Empire's conquest has uprooted many and more, be it in Yansha or out in the Ruby Sea. We have a duty to ensure that Ihanashi and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. Then the matter is settled. I will make preparations to cast off. Well, my friends, it seems we have our ship. let us return to the Enclave. Otters. That's not the Enclave. Come on now. Silly map. Conto. Hello, Kienkan. Guardsman. Ian. It seems Yugiri and Alphino completed their task before us. They have been waiting.
We scouted the structure and determined the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we will lead the conscripts outside with all possible haste.
From there, the Confederacy has pledged a ship to ferry us across the One River. Now we have but to attend the exchange and pray to the Kami these precautions were necessary. Yes, we got strength, dex, vitality, intelligence, and mind. So I guess strength. The primary agreement. Hien is ready to proceed with the prisoner exchange. Ooh, we're almost done with 4.3. Just 2 more after this.
While we were putting our contingency plans in place, I left Hakuro in charge of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. He will see they arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come, they await us on the riverbank not far from the castrum.
Off we go to Namai. Way out there. No, not you, Geary. Confederate skipper.
Your party is assembled then?
Aye, and ready for what lies ahead, I trust.
Lest there be any confusion, though.
The tower across the water is to be the scene of the exchange. That, and whatever else Asahi has planned. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home. Yugiri, you are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sign of trouble.
Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover their escape and lend what support we can.
Your ship awaits you at the castrum's loading docks. She will see you safely home.
Then all stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it.
Here we go. Oh.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
So, I may have just had a revelation. I'm pretty sure those boxes right there contain the prisoners that they're exchanging to us. I'm pretty sure all the Domans that are meant to be sent to us are dead and in coffins.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion, welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Tsuyu. Why?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Naori, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish!
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling.
I'm pretty sure it is.
All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself.
Too bad he's dead.
I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken.
And how are you gonna do that?
This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
Huh? What are you doing? No, no, no. Don't be summoning a primal.
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning.
What are you doing, Yatsuya? Are you gonna actually become a primal, an icon? That sure is a moon. And now an eclipsed moon. So, who is this?
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
Actually, she's not a Doman citizen, as you took her back to, go back to Garlean lands. She is now a Garlean citizen, and so she's not a Doman citizen unless we did not break her agreement.
But Ambassador!
But Ambassador, she's clearly a Garlean citizen.
Disobey
You
the
idiot.
Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
She's not a Doman citizen anymore because she got her memories back. And the exchange. What?
My lord, you must fall back!
Your trickery doesn't even make sense, Asahi.
You ask me to run?
From a primal, yeah. Leave this to me.
Against such a foe, I would be more hindrance than help. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
And it seems I was wrong. Those crates were not filled with corpses, they were filled with crystals. But whew, that means the countrymen are still alive, possibly?
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours.
Why would anyone think that I would flee? You're a primal, I'm a primal slayer, it's my job, what?
But I am become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon
Tsukuyomi.
and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty?
The echo and, my protection from
I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail.
You sure about that?
Let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorman. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
I don't. I don't see such a future at all. Tsukuyomi. Castrum Fulminus now accessible. Yeah. Ooh, we need a big party for this one. 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 4 DPS? I should swap this to party beforehand.
Now we have to wait for a group to form. I do wonder if I should use Dark Knight for it. Here we sit. Right in front of Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon. Oh, also, by the way, that Metroid-themed Magic the Gathering Commander deck that I've been building, I finally have the full thing right in front of me. Got all 100 cards now, plus tokens. I'm really liking it. I'm really proud of my references, especially the Chozo artifacts to summon either Meta Ridley or Metroid Prime. Oh, actually, it couldn't be used like that to summon Meta Ridley because he's an artifact. And the Inspiring Statuary specifically says non-artifact spells. Still, there is potentially enough mana within those to summon Scion of Draco, aka Meta Ridley. Especially because it costs 2 less to cast for each basic land type among lands you control. So, since I would have islands and plains for basic lands, that would be 2, so that would cost 4 less, so it would only cost 8. And then I've got... let's see here. I've got the Mox Amber that adds 1 mana, Thought Vessel that adds 1 mana, Soul Ring that adds 2, Relic of the Legends that adds 1. The Immortal Sun makes spells I cast costs 1 less to cast, so that drops the cost down to 7. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the Mana Geode, 7 from the Arcane Signet, and that's all you need. Don't even need to tap the Nyx Lotus. And the Nyx Lotus, my artifact of nature, choose a color, add an amount, you tap it, and then choose a color, add an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. So, that Nyx Lotus there can be pretty crazy. I mean, my commander is already 1 devotion for
both white and blue. And then if I have anything else, I've got a few enchantments that are... I got a couple of enchantments that are blue, a couple of enchantments that are white, plus creatures that are blue or white. So I've got enough devotion stuffs to make that next Lotus pretty powerful. Yeah, you could be tapping that for like 5 mana. For an artifact that costs how much? It costs 4 to play. It does come into play tapped, but it can be pretty powerful. Yeah, so sadly my artifact temple cannot summon Meta Ridley. But it could summon Metroid Prime because while he is colorless, he is an Eldrazi, not an artifact. Ah, here we are. Commence the duty. Fulminous. Castrum Fulminous. Light party.
Put your faith in the light.
Full party. Offered Castrum Fulminous. You and your pipe. No.
Oh, it's going to be a long night.
Oh, there's a lot of effects going on. What? What's this dragon doing here? Soul Slice.
Your end is near.
That sword's faint. Effects going off.
Beg for mercy.
Uh-oh. Feather up.
Your death will be all the sweeter.
Effects. Oof. Huh? No. No. Oh, that soul scythe. Get this and out. Yes, you can. Bleh. Come on. What? Why did you go that way? There we go. Gosetsu, how did you... Or are you just another...
There can be no redemption.
In darkness blooms the spider lily. From mortal height, I rise
Music real picked up now.
Suffused with night, I shall prevail.
Wait. I want to be over there. Oh, I see. Yeah, I do want to be over here, I guess.
Beg for mercy.
What? Huh? Huh? What happened? All my health is just gone.
In night's chill shine petals pale. Whoa! Beg for mercy.
What? But I dodged. I dashed. Come on.
Whoa!
Thank you.
No. Not yet. Not yet. I'll grind you under my heel.
She keep turning around so much.
I'll grind you under my heel.
Slice. What? Huh? Oh, she's dead. Good. It's nearly dead there. Hey, you've got white hair now. Go for party. But there are no party members. Wow, everybody left, huh? Take care. What's going on here? Ridiculous. Guess we leave. That was quite the fight, though. And it was definitely only me, just me. No one else. Who shoots her? Her brother, of course. Makes sense. He only wanted to use her as a tool the whole time.
You really must learn to finish the job. 'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down.
How about I just cleave your head from your shoulders right here? What's stopping me? Why am I just standing here watching him?
My, such hostility. These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer. Will you surrender to anger then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
What bridges? You literally just said the exchange is off because Icon. So I could just claim the Icon killed you. Like, I could kill him. I could easily kill him right now, and say the Icon killed him.
I'm forgetting. They're already ash. This Dorman woman has seen to that.
She's an Empire
Empire
woman.
cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point.
We literally do renounce summoning. You summoned her, and she's not Doman. Like. Also, you're telling me right now that I could kill you because there's nothing that would stop me.
It should have been mine.
What should have?
The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Doma. I would have repaid his faith.
You would have died.
No one alive loves him more than I!
You've got problems.
This harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Did I stab him? No? She stabbed him. I take it.
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance.
Yeah. Kill him. Do it. Then I can really say that I did nothing. It was the Icon. That
These people.
He summoned.
Our people. They ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill.
And why didn't you kill him until now? What took so long?
Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied. You should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength, just for you.
Kill him. Finish him off.
What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead.
Yeah, but you could have turned your life around. So you deserved a kinder fate.
Her happiness was never to be. Not in this world.
Yes, it was. It was to be, though.
I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Who knows?
Lord Xenos.
Shut up. Just die, okay? Bum, bum.
Lord Xenos. I am at your disposal.
Asai, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary, and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma, and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single icon.
The icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell. The salvation of this world will not be won through the signing of treaties.
Your chosen agent. I will not fail you, my lord.
Also, that's not Xenos. That's looks like him though. Sounds like him.
My master, Lord Xenos. He will come for you.
He already did once, and he died, and now this other dude wears his face.
You have prevailed, I see.
Sorry, Gasetsu. So you kind of shot her twice.
She is gone?
Yeah.
Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Oh yeah. It was a farce from the start.
Lord Hien!
Maximo, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now, but our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here, but it seemed to me there was more to the tale.
Yeah.
I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
Yeah?
How can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo.
That he did.
I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
Yep.
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an imposter has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd, but worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
True.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second in command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Good.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Alphino?
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings.
Yeah. And that imposter Xenos is the
Without
Ascian.
our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Okay, Alphino, but also...
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
You could easily be captured, executed.
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk her life on countless occasions. Next to her, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield.
Nah, you do a good job healing me and things.
But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
I mean, I have concerns, but I believe in you, Alphino, I guess.
Tis not for me to stop you. But I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Hopefully.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
Alige is mad at you, Alphino. Well, very close to finishing up 4.3.
I knew Asahi was planning some manner of treachery, but a summoning? Thank the Kami you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Yotsuyu's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, aye, but she still had a choice, and she chose to submit to the ambassador's plan. 'Tis little wonder Gosetsu departed in silence. I gather he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibune before the battle began in earnest, but the vessel yet awaits on the riverbank for those who did not flee in time.
Then I suggest we put this doleful place behind us, and make for the Enclave together. 'Twould be a shame to miss the joyous reunion. Here we are. Look at all these people coming home. Wonderful reunions.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
No problem. At least we got something out of it.
Ah, there you are.
Kosetsu. Hi, Kosetsu.
Gosetsu, your hair.
I see you've shaved.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
Safe travels, Kosetsu.
A fulsome farewell makes for an enjoyable journey.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Doma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Doma a land where children laugh and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before.
Smile.
And with that, I take my leave.
So long, Kosetsu.
Ah, Gosetsu. Fair journey to you, my friend. A bittersweet occasion, but there is yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray, join us in the Kiankan. I would thank you properly.
Alright. Let me in. You let everybody else in. Why do I have to be let in separate, huh? Why can't the doors just be open?
Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is that much closer to being realized. It is a day that will live long in memory, and one that would never have dawned without the courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you our deepest thanks. Lest you think me complacent, I assure you, I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. That Xenos lives is a source of grave concern, mayhap the gravest. Yet there is little to be done but wait for Alphino to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Kosetsu, by building a nation in which none need live in fear. I confess, I miss him already. But the thought that he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed Yotsuyu such kindness? I believe the answer lies in past tragedy, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts, and in Yotsuyu's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but the little girl who was lost to it. After the loss of his family, Kosetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardship, strove beyond the limits of endurance, without hesitation or complaint. Though Tsuyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that with her at his side, he might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. Would that the Kami had been so minded. Even now, I labor to discern any meaning in Yotsuyu's fate. I deliver her from certain death, or to deliver her from certain death, with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother? Can that truly have been what their will? That I cannot tell you. The will of the Kami is not for us to know. But what I do know is that for a brief moment, a girl known as Tsuyu lived among us, and that she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart.
Ba, 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 ba. Under the Moonlight, which is the second to last quest. Then there's the Emissary of Dawn. For 4.3, that is.
I think it's time we were moving. Oh. I think it's time we were going, don't you? We've done all we can here, and we have a lot to report. But before we head back to the Rising Stones, let's call in at Ralga's Reach. We should be the ones to tell Lise about Xenos. After everything we went through together, we owe her that.
You mean the Ashian posing as Xenos? But sure, we'll stop by Ralga's Reach. It's a simple teleport away, just like any other place. So close to 72. So very close. Get out, Ethernet. Put right there. Hey, Elise. How's it going?
Yasiel, Alice, you're back. No Alphino? It's good to see you, Lice. Or at least. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what will almost certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Garlemald. It's a long story, but we have evidence that Xenos might still be alive. What? But that's... If this is a joke... God, this had better be a joke.
Xenos.
Look, I know what I saw, alright? We all saw it. And here you are saying he's alive? And well, and living the high life back in Garlemald? I know how ludicrous this sounds. I'm still having difficulty believing it myself. But while I might doubt the word of an Imperial envoy, I'm inclined to trust Genosia's. She saw the Crown Prince through the Echo, in a meeting that could only have taken place in the recent past.
Why are these my only options? I watched him die. I beheld his lifeless corpse before my very eyes. We buried him. Where is he buried? Let's go dig him up. Like... It appeared to be him. I won't say it was him. I wouldn't.
No, it must have been, I don't know, some kind of really convincing imposter? Xenos is dead. He had a great big hole in his neck. We buried him. Aye. And someone went to the trouble of desecrating the grave, remember?
Thal's gilded halls! Whatever are you talking about? Ah, there you are, thank you.
Thancred, what brings you to the Reach?
Alphino had me lending a hand at the saltery, keeping an eye on the rebuilding work and so on, just until operations were up and running. And now that they are, I thought I might look in on you before wending my weary way back to headquarters. Forgive me if I misheard, but is there some suggestion the late Crown Prince could have gotten better? If so, might I suggest a quick look inside his coffin as our first order of business? Exactly.
As much as I hated the man, doesn't feel right defiling his grave. But if it would put this rumor to rest, I suppose we have to. And when there are no curious eyes about, if we can manage it. Xenos is buried up at Bloodhow in the Locks. His grave was set apart from the others and left unmarked so as to not upset the locals. Then it shouldn't be too hard to find. Monago, you're in charge until I get back.
Nodders. Exactly. Thancred's got the way of it. Let's go dig him up. If he's supposedly alive, let's dig up his coffin and have another look at that body. Shall we? The High Bank.
There it is. This is it. Cuss. He'd better be in there. Someone scrawled all over the stone a while ago, but I had it scrubbed off and thought no more about it. So no one thought to check if the coffin was still occupied? Well then, we are presented with but one course of action. And we had best be sure we are not observed in the doing of it. Shall we begin? In fact, why was he buried here to begin with? Why didn't we ship him back to Garlemald and say, here's your dead prince? Bury him where you will.
Oh dear. We seem to be missing a corpse.
Thunderstrike, really?
Well, it must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
Who are you? What you doing? Why are you smiling? Bruh. Oh boy. If there's no corpse, then are we to conclude the rumors are true? Not necessarily. We might still be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to the tale of Xenos' resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alphina's theory of Asian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell you they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. You're saying an Asian is walking around in Xenos' body? Very likely, actually, yeah. I forgot that they could possess people. It's been so long. It seems a distinct possibility. Once I have put this grave back the way we found it, I shall pay a visit to the people responsible for interring the Crown Prince. Before leaping to any conclusions, I want to know for sure if a body was ever buried here, and how certain we are that Xenos was properly dead. If he wasn't, that was some trick. He as good as cut his own head off. Anyway, Raban needs to hear about this. If you find anything out, please send word to me at Rolga's Reach. I don't know why I'm surprised. With matters settling down in Doma, we would do another crisis. Shall we make for the Rising Stones, then? It's past time we shared these developments with the others. I suppose we shall. Oh, and here we are. Okay. Hey, LJ. While I was waiting for you to arrive, I spoke with Yoriange over Linkpearl and gave him a full report. Y'shtola is on her way and should be here any... Ah! Here she is, I assume. Alije, Genosia, 'tis good to see you safe and well. Any news have you from the east? Much and more. Disturbing developments indeed. Given all that we know, I too would conclude that an Asian now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger might fool the Crown Prince's subordinates, but Genosia? Nay. Alphino had the right of it. Would that his wisdom extended to the question of his own safety. Capable though he has become, he ventures alone into the enemy's stronghold and the shadowy web of the Paragons, like as not. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in a position to criticize, but I'm worried. I just wish there was something I could do for him besides pray. Ba, 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 ba.
Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace... We cannot suffer the icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point?
More than clear. The icon in question was summarily dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead, and the rite beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan, every party behaving exactly as required. My methods may seem extreme, but there is no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of this star. Flippin' Asian. That's a lot of scrapped bots.
Hello? What are you doing fiddling with that thing? I asked you a question, soldier.
He's not a soldier. Who is this man?
What are you... Have you lost your mind? Ah! Huh.
I have lost many things, but my mind is yet my own. There upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final bow, only to find that the finale was but an intermission. Shall I use this chance to repent for my sins? Embrace goodness and mediocrity? Nay, I think not. While the one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. Who are you? What's your deal, man? We'll probably learn more in Shadowbringers, I assume. What are you up to? Taking that little Magitech suit. Lunar Cycle. Hello, Alice. Ponder. With thoughts on Alphino's plight weighing heavy on her mind, Alice might welcome some company.
It's been an eventful few days, hasn't it? But I suppose all we can do now is wait for word from Alphino. I don't recall the last time I had nothing pressing to be getting on with. We should probably make the most of it. Shall I put on some tea? Tea would be lovely. You may regale me with the tale of your adventures in the Far East, and of your encounter with this new primal especially. I'll put the kettle on then. That table looks free if you'd like to take a seat.
Quest accepted.
And we shall claim this nearby table. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. Yeah, I've got the time.
Interesting. So this Tsukuyomi was summoned in much the same manner as Susano, via the medium of a sacred relic. That's right. They believe their gods, or kami, reside in physical objects. Given the danger they represent, it may behoove us to begin a catalogue of such relics.
But if we are to contain the threat, we will require a better understanding of the summoning method itself. I believe I shall pay a visit to Doma and learn what I can on the subject. A fine idea. And I know for a fact that our friends in Doma would be grateful for any information which could help to prevent further summoning in the region. I will pen you a letter of introduction. Lord Yen will wish to welcome our resident expert on etherology.
Greetings! Could it be that I'm in time for tea?
It certainly looks that way. Come on, sit down and tell us how your investigations went.
After you left, I went about questioning Bloodhouse gravekeepers. They all told much the same story. Once Lise and her officers had confirmed Zeno's dead, his corpse was interred under strict supervision. There seems little reason to doubt their testimony on that point, but when I mentioned the defacement of Zenos' grave, accounts grew rather more vague. None reported having seen any suspicious persons in the vicinity, and all assumed the act to have been perpetrated by a vengeful Alamegan. Crucially, however, I was able to confirm that when the offending scroll was removed, as per Lisa's instruction, no one involved thought to check the contents of the coffin. By that stage, 'tis like that the corpse was already missing. Assuming Zenos has not, in fact, risen from the dead, we are left with two possibilities. Either the body was disposed of to lend credence to the claims of an extremely committed impostor, or an Asian has taken up residence within it.
If Asahi was as fervent a devotee as you believe, he would not have been fooled by an impersonation. However committed, we must assume that we are dealing with an Asian, and proceed accordingly.
Agreed. Question is, how many more such monsters are waiting for Alphino and Garlemald?
Their presence was his chief reason for going. He understood the risks. I only hope he did not underestimate the extent of the infestation.
Considering the Asian is currently inhabiting the Crown Prince, I should think that it would not be good. Meanwhile, on the Imperial Hypersonic Assault Craft L-XXV, I should think that it would be very dangerous to go to Garlemald with the Crown Prince being an Asian. Here we are. Master Alphino, we are making good speed towards our destination. Is aught amiss?
Nay, 'tis just I can see naught from my cabin, and was curious to know the land over which we flew.
Ah, I am afraid our military craft are built with little thought for such niceties. I am happy to indulge your curiosity, however. We are presently passing over the burn on the western edge of Othard. Even with the benefit of a porthole, your gaze would have been greeted with naught but malms upon malms of lifeless earth.
I have read something of the burn. It was described as a desolate wasteland, bled dry of every last drop of ether.
Aye, it is believed that a succession of icon summonings was responsible. When Emperor Solus first came to Othard and beheld this blight, he is said to have reeled at the scale of the devastation. He declared icons a threat to our very star's existence and issued an empire-wide decree ordering the eradication of all such entities.
Report!
We're under attack, sir.
Magitek armor, no visible designation.
Magitek? But who? Ah!
All cannons, return fire, damage report.
The main reactor's been hit. Helm unresponsive. We're going down, sir. They knew exactly where to hit us. All hands, brace for impact.
Well, this ain't good. Bound to be that one dude who just flew off in a magic armor thing. Hard to believe that such a small craft could this seriously damage a airship.
Glad to have you back, Master Alvino. We have landed in one piece, more or less. But the air filtration system is damaged and the ship is filling with smoke. We must gather the survivors and get out of here while we can. Aye. What? Huh? What? I'm Alvino? Damage, stores HP, damage. Sort pet hotbar. Okay, so what are you doing? Search for survivors. I don't see anyone. Just those three. So, now what? It's just those three. And the bounds are pretty small for this place. Oh. Ah. Ruin! You. Heal! My thanks. I don't think I would have made it. Yes, you very likely saved his life. The question is, who would try to take it remains. Uh-oh. The prince? They've not come to parley out here. Ready your weapons! What's up with the feather? Oh no, that's a book. Heal myself. Right, shackle.
Oof. Yeah, Alphino, you don't have very many abilities. At level 70, you should have a full hotbar, man. Also, I guess it wasn't that one guy from the previous cutscene. It was a bunch of Garlean soldiers.
Confound it! Not here! Not like this!
That was a gunblade.
What? Who in the Empire's name? Enemies of our enemies. Introductions can await. You are calm in a crisis, Master Alphino. Let us finish this then.
Here we go, I guess. One. All the foot soldiers are done. Done and dusted, just 3 suits of Magitek. Sky armor. Roleplay. Experiencing what it is to be someone else. Sure. We sure are. Get him. Good job. Oh, there's more. I recognize that X attack. I know who this man is. Target the one that everybody else is targeting. Take him out faster. Why didn't you stop? I believe this man used to be wearing a suit of golden armor. Last we met. Powered by the light of the moonstone. Increasing damage dealt while reducing damage taken. Very good, Moonstone Carbuncle. You are a wonderful companion. Well then. Duty complete. Roleplay complete. Was not expecting that.
My thanks. Your intervention proved most timely.
Well, well. I did not think to meet an Eorzean in this place, let alone a scion.
You know of me, sir?
I have some small history with your order. But I would speak of the present. Know you your assailants, and the severity of your predicament?
The soldiers bore the insignia of the Emperor's personal guard. And I could venture a guess as to their motive, but you yet have us at a disadvantage, sir. Will you not tell us who you are?
Our names are not yours for the asking, and as for our purpose, let this be your answer.
An Ascian mask?
The face of our prey. We must away before more arrive. Come with us or stay, but make your choice now.
Even should we manage the long trek out of the burn and secure passage to the capital, we would no doubt be greeted by the Emperor's guard. Indeed. We accept your gracious offer.
Shadow Hunter will suffice for the present. Come.
Shadow Hunter, I believe his name was Van Baelsar or something. One who summoned the Ultima. Also, that's a lot of masks. Of many different forms. Curiouser and curiouser. This is intolerable. But as much as I wish it were otherwise, there is nothing we can do for Alphino now but pray for his success. Well, that is not entirely true. While your brother journeys to Garlemald from the east, I could make my way there from Alamigo and find out what there is to be learned in the Empire's western provinces. Then I'm coming with you. I can't very well sit here sipping tea if there's action to be taken. Forgive me, Alice, but the provinces are hostile territory and stealth is all important. It is safer that I go alone. I can sneak well enough when the situation demands it. Don't patronize me. We should leave this to Thancred. Not you too. I understand your frustration, Alice, but Genossi has the right of it. We must defer to Thancred's expertise in this matter. Fine. Just promise you'll be careful. It seems that praying is to be the extent of my contribution after all, but I will stay behind, as I have been bid. We all have our talents. Mine just happens to involve a silver tongue and soft souls. I promise to send word the moment I learn aught of consequence. See that you notify me too. I mean to depart for Doma as soon as I find a suitable East Aldenard vessel to bear me thither. But I shall return if I am needed. Be sure to drop in whenever you're next in the area, Genossia. With any luck, I'll have a painfully detailed report from Alphino to share.
Indeed. Ponder. Da, 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 da. You have learned the emote Ponder. That I have. New chapter of New Game Plus has been added. Let me just see that Ponder emote. Here it is. You are deep in thought, apparently. Am I? Just eyes kind of shift to the side. Furrow. Simper. Ponder. Fake smile. Scuff. Beam. Annoyed. Amazed. Sad. Taught. I guess maybe if I didn't have this, maybe it would appear different. Let's see. Yeah, 'cause she lifts her right eyebrow, but you couldn't see that because of the eye patch. Alert. Ow! Scared. Shut eyes. Smirk. Wink. Which just looks like a blink, and wink right, which you don't see at all. Grin. Straight face. Annoyed. But I think that will be it for today. We finished 4.3. Next up is 4.4. Prelude in Violet. Which only has 7 quests. Although it looks like it includes a dungeon. And then after that would be 4.5, which only has 5 quests, and then 4.56, which has 2 quests. And then that's it for Post Stormblood. So should just be 2 more weeks of Post Stormblood, and then finally we can get into Shadowbringers. Can't wait. But yeah, that's it for Final Fantasy XIV for today. And I'll be back a little later in a couple of hours to play more Final Fantasy XVI. Should be good fun. 16 is... It's been getting more and more fun the more I play it. First I got my my second set of iconic abilities, and that bumped up the fun, and then I got my limit break, and that bumped up the fun even more. I'm really enjoying it. Can't wait to play more. But for Final Fantasy XIV, that'll be it. 16 later today. More 16 on Monday, and then I'll be playing Oxenfree 2 on Wednesday. But I will see you next mission. Bye-bye.